Missing stars Storm Reed, is directed by Nicholas Johnson and Will Merrick, and is a sequel, well, sort of sequel, more of a spin-off to the 2018 film Searching. Storm Reed plays June, an 18-year-old girl whose mom and soon-to-be stepdad go out on a nice romantic trip, but her mom has now gone missing and is nowhere to be found. So it's up to June to find clues and use her resources on her laptop to track down her mom before it's too late. Now, I was actually pretty excited for this movie, mainly because I'm a huge fan of the 2018 film Searching. In my opinion, that is the most underrated film of that year. I mean, no one talks about that movie anymore, even though I had great performances, a great story, great characters. All around it was very entertaining. And when I saw a trailer for Missing, I was pretty excited, yet nervous at the same time, mainly because the director wasn't coming back. Instead, the director for this movie is the editor of the first movie. And that usually is a bad sign when the director doesn't want to come back. But I'll be upfront with y'all, I really did not enjoy this movie that much. Even though it's getting great reviews by critics and audiences are like it, I feel like I'm the outcast here because I did not like this movie that much. Now we'll go ahead and start with some positives first. First one being is I really did miss this style of filming, the way how everything isn't just on the computer screen. I really do enjoy that unique take of making a movie. They've done it before in other films like Searching and also Unfriended and Unfriended 2, and it's just really nice to see this style come back. Now the Unfriended movies are terrible, but I feel like Searching really did this style really nicely, and I feel like this style is done well once again in Missing. Another thing I really like in this movie is I like how the roles are pretty much reversed in this movie compared to Searching. Instead of a father looking for their daughter, it's a daughter looking for their parents. And I felt like I could relate to that story a bit more because I don't have kids. I'm only in my mid-20s, so I don't know what it's like to look for a kid that's missing. Well, I don't know what it's like to look for a parent that's missing, but I do know what it feels like, when you don't know where your parents are and you're worried for them. So I could relate in some cases to the main character. I also really enjoy how this movie uses updated technology as well. You see things like TikTok, you see things like Ring Doorbell, other unique new Apple products. To be fair, this movie does seem like an Apple product placement because everything is taking place on an iMac, but it's not too distracting, but I do still enjoy how everything is upgraded with technology in this movie compared to Searching. I also really do like how this film is somewhat of a satire to people who are so obsessed with murder podcasts and murder shows. In fact, I did feel pretty called out because I love murder podcasts and I love murder mysteries. So when I saw that the film was making fun of people that are so obsessed with that kind of stuff, I definitely felt pretty called out and I definitely got a little chuckle out of that. Now when it comes to the story, I at least enjoyed the first 2/3 of it. Definitely not the last third, I'll get to that in my complaints, but for the first 2/3 I did find it enjoyable watching the main character find all these clues and little details about where their mom could be. It was at least entertaining. Not perfect by any means, definitely not as good as the first movie, but still very entertaining none the least, watching this little girl try and find her mom. But easily the best part of the movie was the character of Javi, played by Joaquim de Almeida. Now this character definitely is the comic relief of the movie. He relieves a lot of tension that goes on in the movie because the movie is very intense, and every time you see his character, it's just a sigh of relief to see him. All around, he's just a very enjoyable character to watch, and he brings up the movie definitely a few points in enjoyment for me. Now, I know what you're thinking. It seems like I actually really did enjoy this movie because I'm giving it so much praise, but I'm going to be honest, I really did not like this movie, and the rest of the things I have to talk about are my complaints. And I have quite a few of them. First complaint that I have is the acting. Now, look, I don't like complaining about child actors or teenager actors because, look, I'm not an actor, I'll never be an actor, I know that acting is hard for a lot of people, but man, Storm's Reed performance in this movie was just not that good. And I'm sure she's a really nice person in real life, and man, I am excited to see her in the new Last of Us TV show, because she's going to be in that. But man, her performance here was just not that good, unfortunately. But I can tell that she's trying, because she does give some parts of a good performance. There are some parts where she seems actually believable and scared that her mom is missing. But at the same time, there are so many scenes where she doesn't even have, any emotion to begin with. For example, there's a scene in the movie where she's literally watching a clip of her mom being captured into a van, and the most that she can say is, "Oh no, where are they taking her?" in that tone of voice. Like, she conveys no sense of fear or emotion or worry. The performance just did not seem believable at all. But on the other hand, you do have parts of her performance where she's actually giving it her all, so her performance is just all over the place. I can tell that she's really trying, she just wasn't that convincing to me. And the film's pacing is all over the place as well. I mean, you have parts of the movie that are really, really fast and really, really engaging, and then you have like 10 minutes of the movie that just keep on dragging on, and the story goes nowhere. And the audience is just like, we know where this is going. Just get to the next part. Come on. But easily the biggest downfall for this movie is the twist and ending. I mean, it brought the whole film down for me because the twist makes zero sense whatsoever. You really have to suspend your disbelief with this movie because the twist comes out of nowhere to literally with a point where my whole theater at the exact same time just went, what? Now don't worry, I won't spoil the twist of who was responsible for making the mom go missing, but let's just say that the person would have easily been suspect number 2, and the cops don't even bother to go to his house or interview him. In fact, he's only brought up like once during the movie, and never brought up again until the very ending, and it's just like, hey, it was this guy all along. The guy that we never mentioned throughout the entire movie, except like twice. What a twist, right? No, that's not how you do a twist. That's like if in Glass Onion, it was the grandma or the mom or whatever who was the bad guy. Like, that's not a good twist. That's just trying to make a shock value twist that has no depth or meaning whatsoever. Now look, I know a mystery movie is not supposed to just spell things out for you about who the bad guy could be. It's supposed to leave little hints here and there about who it could be. But in this movie, there are zero hints that it was this person that caused the mom to go missing. It literally just comes out of nowhere and it's like, oh, you thought it was this person, but actually, it was this person, stupid. And I just felt cheated throughout the whole movie. I'm like, there's no way I would have thought it was that person because that person was not in the movie at all, except for like a couple scenes. I know it seems so frustrated and I'm just ranting now, but I love mystery movies and I love the first Searching movie to where I felt like this one was just so poorly executed with its ending. I feel like this is just a textbook on how not to make a mystery movie, and I just felt cheated at the end. I really wanted to like Missing, guys. I mean, I really did. I love Searching, and I was looking forward to seeing this, but I just felt cheated by the ending, and I just felt disappointed. On my drive home, I was thinking to myself, I mean, it was okay, it wasn't great, but as I kept on thinking about it, I saw the movie last night, and the more I slept on it, I was just thinking, this movie makes zero sense whatsoever, and it just killed the whole movie for me. I mean, I'm in the minority here because critics are liking it and audience members are liking it, but for me personally, this one just didn't work out for me. Should you go see it? I mean, like I said, audience members are liking it, critics are liking it, so I'd say go and figure out for yourself if it's worth your time or not. But for me, I'd say this is one that you can just skip. Well, there we go. I finally have a negative review for you guys. I didn't want to make a negative review. I was hoping that I would like this movie, but I just didn't. But have you seen Missing? What did you think about it? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. And if it's your first time here, be sure to subscribe for more content. I hope you have a fantastic night. Take care.